Our next guest is raising questions about judicial reform in the country through the pages of a suspense novel. In Point Guard, author Edwin J Sprague asks the question, what if the American court system operated on a point system? And Ed joins us in the studio this morning. So you wrote a book, Ed.
Yeah, how about that?
It took a long time, didn't it?
It did. It took about 13 years.
Well, sometimes good writing takes a while to get it all done. And it was an infamous story that really got the ball rolling for you. What was it?
You know, I like most Americans, I sat down and watched the trial. It was kind of a real life, better than fiction, the O.J. Simpson trial.
Right.
And just the fiasco that was going on in the courtroom, I just thought, my goodness, this just can't be.
There's got to be a better way.
There's got to be a better way.
How does the point system work?
Well, it's kind of like the Pennsylvania driver's license system. You create a particular crime, violent crime, and you get points, and those points are irrevocable, and the sentences that are charged to it are non-paroled. You can't get out for good behavior or anything like that, and that's kind of the basis behind the novel.
Right. I know a lot of people will say, well, 3 strikes. It sounds like 3 strikes. Similar in some ways, different in others.
Yeah, it is, but it isn't. In fact, it's significantly different. The 3 strikes program really didn't get adopted by all the states, and it really isn't just for violent crime. Intended for, but not necessarily used that way. There's a lot of ambiguity in the law today.
All right. There's a lot of, it's fiction. But sometimes fiction, there's a lot of truth in it. How much is truth? Did you beg, borrow, and steal from other cases to put it all together?
You know, we've had people call us and say, you know...
this sounds a little like this. Haven't we been down this road before?
You know, I've had friends call me up and say, hey, I recognize that conversation, you know, those kinds of things. You know, I've had a pretty fun life, so we kind of incorporated some of that stuff.
But you changed the names, I assume, to protect the innocent and the guilty, perhaps?
Absolutely.
All right. Let's start with the storyline. In the driveway... Tina and Mike are having, husband and wife, are having a nice conversation. They're making out, too. Aren't they in the car?
Well, they're in the car. They're having a nice moment between the two of them.
And they're going to have a real good moment later on. Mommy's going upstairs to get ready, but she doesn't make it there. What happened?
Well, in a drive-by shooting is what happens. And Mike Lane, who's the character in the book, Mike Lane wants to avenge her murder. So he goes on a quest to do so, and part of that quest is rewriting law, and he writes basically a stunning legal document that has the opportunity to, and potentially change the American legal system.
Well, that's a good thing, but he can't do it by himself. He needs some help from his congressional representative, in this case a senator. That's correct. And the senator helps him somewhat, but then steals his thunder. What happens?
Well, the senator takes his document and decides that he's going to help him. And that basically unravels the world of political corruptness and puts Mike Lane in a significant spot of danger.
So what does he do about it?
I can't tell you.
I know you don't want to give me the ending, but just give me a little bit.
I can't tell you too much about the book other than that. What's interesting about the novel, and remember, it's a novel, it's a story, but we've got readers contacting me all the time saying things like, how come law can't be black and white like that? That makes sense. We ought to be seriously thinking about that.
Well, I know you want to entertain people, and you've done that.
Absolutely.
You've succeeded with that, but you're an idealist. You want things to be a certain way. Have you really presented this book or your ideas to a real-life congressman or senator and say, sir, ma'am, you ought to consider this?
Well,
maybe there's some validity here.
We haven't yet. I mean, there's certainly some constitutional issues when it comes to getting laws passed and things like that. But our goal is to get it in the hands of some folks and that can make an impact and give them an opportunity to read it and go, yeah, that kind of makes a little bit of sense.
Well, you can lobby a lawmaker.
Sure, why not?
Yeah,
maybe you and I can get up there and move the American judicial system some way.
Well, I think most people would agree to a certain extent the American judicial system is broken. I mean, is it broken to the point that we need this kind of an overhaul to fix it?
I think so. I think so. I think there needs to be significant change done. Somebody's got to do something. You just can't go and get away with the things that we're getting away with today, and I think someone needs to do something about it.
Yeah. Aside from the book, are you shopping around a movie deal? Any chance of that?
You know, yeah, there's the potential of that happening. Working on an outline for a second book, so, you know, we're just getting rolling with this thing. So hopefully folks enjoy the book and support it.
Well, you have some good momentum going already. Ed Sprague is the author of Point Guard, and I got to tell you, let me get a shot of us close together here. The guys in the control room they think we're brothers in some way. Thank goodness you wore a different color tie.
I thought of that one.
We may have the same tail, or the suits are just about the same. Congratulations on the book, and let us know how it goes with the movie.
Thank you very much.
All right, time for weather.